Hi, I'm Mike Tierney of Data Not Distress, and in this video I'd like to talk about why is Japan so great. Japan is a country of 126 million, with the world's largest elderly population at 40% of their population, and thus the most people susceptible to airborne disease in the world. Now, if I was going to really talk about all the ways Japan is great, I would be here all day long. There's no shortage of the ways that they're great. Their culture, their technology, their transportation, their food, and their spirit of perfection, which has good and bad sides. Japan has managed COVID-19 with the same death rate as any other common cold, at 9 per 100,000, despite their huge elderly population. By all rational measures, they should have held the Olympics last year. But that Japanese spirit of perfection has led to their attempts to try to preemptively save face with a Western world in collapse due to their own bad policies. So, how did Japan experience an ordinary common cold with COVID-19? Well, in February 2020, Japan ordered their public health centers, which they have full control over, to deny admittance unless the patient has had a fever of 37.5 Celsius or 99.5 Fahrenheit for 4 days, and extreme fatigue and difficulty breathing, with elderly people allowed after 2 days in that condition. Just those simple requirements kept Japan's hospitals from being overwhelmed and turned into mass mortality centers the way they have throughout the West. Japan also has a strong mask-wearing culture, wearing them every year to avoid seasonal allergies such as from all those cherry blossoms, and this means that when packing face-to-face into trains every day, they've been getting slight exposure to whatever cold and flu is going around, but just enough to build up natural antibodies without being overwhelmed by infection. The end result has been one of the lowest death rates in the world to COVID-19, with one of the world's most massive populations of vulnerable individuals. But their spirit of perfection has led them to overreact to COVID-19 in many ways, reacting more to what has happened in other countries than to what they're experiencing in Japan itself, due to a fear of ending up a disaster like much of the West. To date, however, Japan has managed COVID-19 expertly and saved countless of their own people's lives. Japan is truly a great country.